Hey there, it's Stephanie Shea, Chief Astrologer for janspiller.com with your monthly horoscope. And this one's for you, Cancer. As we head into December, we've got the sun shining in Sagittarius all the way through the 20th, and this will put an emphasis on your daily routines and work life during the first few weeks of the month. The first part of December is going to be a really good time to integrate some spiritual practices into your schedule, especially if things have felt hectic. That's often when we decide to skip one of the practices that makes us feel calmer, whether it's meditating or going for a walk or anything that feeds our spirit and our self-care. It's funny how when we need it the most is when we're the busiest. And so it's all about carving out just a little bit of time, even if you don't have a lot. A few minutes of tranquility can boost and help you get through some busy days. Now, this month's new moon, it's combined with a solar eclipse, and that's on the 14th of December. This is at 23 degrees of Sagittarius, which will help support your goals related to healthy lifestyle choices and organizing your time. So use the power of this new moon solar eclipse to envision a schedule that allows you to feel more free and able to enjoy the experiences life has to offer. New moon solar eclipses are more powerful for intention setting than regular new moons. Now, Jan Spiller wrote the book New Moon Astrology. She would advise setting your intentions at every new moon, and I agree with that. But she also says it's really important to set them at the new moon solar eclipses because you're going to be able to manifest things on a bigger picture scale. It's not just for the next moon cycle. You can think about things you would like to unfold 6 months from now, and it can help you make those longer term plans. So definitely take advantage of that. We only get solar eclipses a couple times a year, so we won't have another one until June of 2021. Now, we've got Venus moving into Sagittarius on the 15th, and Venus will remain in Sagittarius through January the 7th. During this upcoming month, you're well positioned to receive financial rewards for your efforts. Business and job-seeking efforts could pay off. But the thing with Sagittarius sometimes is that a learning curve could be part of the deal. Don't let this scare you. This is actually a good thing. Activities related to teaching and education are favored under this astrology, and you could meet a kindred spirit in your pursuit of knowledge. Venus works on both a personal and professional level for you in December. So these could be two separate things, or maybe you've got your personal relationship area already going, and this will be more of a focus on your professional life. Or perhaps you've got your professional thing going. Venus will offer some support, but this could be more about you attracting someone, and it's coming through your desire to learn. So, for example, classes could be a great place to meet someone new. Now, Saturn will move into Aquarius on December 17th, and Jupiter will move into Aquarius 2 days later on the 19th. This is big time astrology. The outer planets don't change signs that often, and they certainly don't come together that often when we're looking at Saturn and Jupiter. This only happens every 20 years. So this is going to really feel like a shift. And there's an emphasis for Cancers on your intimate relationships, friendships, I would say psychological healing, and big picture dreams in 2021. So on the 21st, which is the winter solstice up here in Northern Hemisphere, Southern Hemisphere summer solstice, on December 21st, Saturn and Jupiter will be exactly conjunct. This initiates a new 20-year cycle, which manifests in a big picture way and also personally. So for Cancers, I think this cycle might be focused on your ability to relate to loved ones in groundbreaking new ways, breaking old relationship patterns, perhaps things that feel codependent, things that feel that have been limiting. This is your time to reinvent the way you relate to others. Now, in the coming year, Saturn Aquarius is going to help you to process emotional information in ways that you might not have imagined. This is great news if you have felt stuck on certain issues, and we all do. We really want to change something, but somehow we feel stuck. Saturn in Aquarius is great for psychological breakthroughs and setting new systems for yourself. Keep that in mind. Jupiter in Aquarius is going to emphasize respecting other people's individuality, especially in your closest relationships. So think about what you need for yourself and giving space for others to be who they are, even if some of their hobbies and pursuits aren't your bag. Really supporting the things that light up your friends and your partners and loved ones. And you're scheduled to feel more confident expressing your inner weirdo, as I like to call it. The part of you that you really love. It could be a creative part, but you feel like people will just think you're too weird if you come out with this book or this idea or this music or whatever it might be. This is actually coming up on a year where you're supposed to do that. We all are, actually. Now, for more information about how to make the best use of the astrology in 2021, I encourage you to check out the link in this video description that will take you to 2021 sun sign reports that I've written for each sun sign. And I'm excited to have them out in the world. I spent a lot of time working on these starting usually in the spring so that they will be ready for this upcoming new year. And I look at how all the outer planets will be moving and in relation to each sun sign. So you can get a lot of information in these reports about what some upcoming themes will be and the best ways to work with the astrology. So please check that out. Now on December 21st, we're going to experience the winter solstice, as I mentioned, Northern Hemisphere people. Southern Hemisphere people will be getting that summer solstice, but this is the day that not just Saturn-Jupiter conjunction, which is a big deal, but it's also every year is the sun moving into Capricorn. So Capricorn does oppose your natal sun. This gives you a great time to assess and appreciate your relationships. It can shine a light on what's going on in a partnership for you. And practical planning is really going to be supported. So it could be time for long-term plans or commitments if you've needed to make those type of partnership-related decisions. Now we've got a full moon on the 29th in your sun sign. Maybe this should have been the headline of the horoscope, but hopefully people will watch all the way through the end. It's a big deal. Cancers are ruled by the moon, so you feel the full moons. But when it's in your sign, it's a really big deal. So if you were born on or around June 30th of any year, or if you have around 8 degrees of Cancer rising, you're going to really receive the strongest activation from this full moon. And some things that you might want to consider are what personal truth that you might be ready to acknowledge, and how can you identify and trust your intuition as you move forward in relationships. I think that will give you plenty of food for thought at the full moon, and just give yourself plenty of space for self-care around that time. I hope you can make the most of this month's astrology. Be safe and be well, and I look forward to seeing you in 2021 with your horoscope.